Okay, rolling. Um, Once again, I'm doing this by myself. I got no cameraman, so I kind of had to mark out my place and all that. The reason I'm making this video today, I made one the other day for YouTube, and it was taken down within a matter of 2 hours. So I'm gonna use some tactics that have been used by other channels, like a call for an uprising, Grease Monkey videos, High Impact Flicks. Brian, he's great. I think I'm gonna use what he uses, and we're just gonna call it El Jabbo. Okay, so we all know what El Jabbo is at this point. Apparently, equating El Jabbo and tying it into the Microsoft blockchain system and the 5G control grid, they didn't like that, so they took it down. I wanted to just give you guys a heads up on that. So in future videos, I'll definitely try to be more aware of my speech because, although everything I said was correct, they took it down. I think I referenced the Myriad Genetics versus the United States Supreme Court case in that video. I might not have, but it's a really interesting case because you keep hearing about deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA, and how El Jabbo doesn't affect it, right? Well, the truth is, we really don't know that yet. We're not going to know that for a while. And, there's other things that could be infected as well. If you remember, high school biology, then you know that ribonucleic acid, especially mitochondrial ribonucleic acid, is passed on only from mother to child. Mitochondrial RNA is only passed on from mother to child, and it's unchanged, and the father's sperm doesn't affect it. So that means, if there was, say, a change in that and it got passed down, it would pass down to every child through that mother, which is important because regardless of whether or not it was an intended consequence, if that scenario were to happen, I think we all know that we would see a Monsanto style law brigade come in and they would say, hey, we own the patents. And this, like I said, that Myriad Genetics case, the Supreme Court already opened the door to that. So, and then they could probably, I don't see why they wouldn't be able to come in and say, hey, we own those patents. We don't want them to get passed down. So therefore, we're going to have to sterilize that child so they can't have children, which would tie into the whole plan now, wouldn't it? Me and my wife were talking the other day about the whole LGBTQA whatever, and I just real quick, a call for an uprising, man. He covers that stuff in a way that I just give that guy props, man, because he keeps his head up and he covers some pretty bad stuff, and he tries to do it in a way to bring humor, and he makes a point about YouTube a lot on there, how if I go on BitChute or if I go on Hive, the people who are looking at the stuff that I'm saying there are already kind of in agreement with me, and my goal is not to create an echo chamber of myself and have a bunch of yes men, My goal is to reach the people that haven't been reached yet, that don't know these things. And that's unfortunately YouTube, which means that we have to jump hoops to be on here, I guess. I thought I was just pretty well spoken, but apparently I made him mad, Another thing, just real quick in this video, I want to touch base on. I said something in one of my videos about flat Earth people, people believing in flat Earth. And I got comment after comment about, the whole video. It was the one I did up in the UP talking about Canada and the lockdowns and all kinds of stuff, right? And it was like the only thing that got stuck on was that. And it, it proves my point. It proves my point. If you believe in flat Earth, fine, believe in flat Earth. But focus on Jesus. I know I do that a lot. Don't get I'm not nothing. Jeez, man. But yeah, man, focus on Jesus. Don't focus on the flat Earth. Don't focus on whether aliens have physical bodies or they're just demons or, You know, that those are like fine points, and we lose people when we get to arguing about that. You know what I mean? You might have somebody sitting on the fence of becoming a Christian, and they might see a comment in the chat that is just blah 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 over whatever. Sunday law. That's another one. Whether you got to call Jesus Mashiach and all. I mean, all those little fine points, man. To me, distract from Jesus and his saving grace. And that is what is important. That's why I'm even bothering to make videos for YouTube at all. Because I know there's a lot of people on YouTube that really don't know what's going on. I'm not trying to reach the truth community. You guys know. I think there's problems in it. People get stuck on their individual points. Like me doing this. This is called a hand gesture. You learn this in communication school. That's what my degree is in. It's not always a symbol. A lot of times it is, but not always. In my case, it's definitely not. I'll make a video discussing my background one of these days, and you'll clearly understand what I'm talking about. Well, we're going to cut that COVID cough out real quick. I'm a smoker. God hasn't taken that from me. I smoke. So anyway, I wanted to touch on that. People, getting stuck on points and stuff like that. Because we've got some real battles out here that really need to be addressed. For people who don't know about the Noahide laws and what those mean, they need to know. And they need to know how significant it is because, it's endorsed by the United Nations. And the bottom line, like I said in my other video the other day, when you start bringing in vaccine passports, right, the only extrapolation you can make from that is the people who don't comply go to prison eventually, or they die. I mean, history is clear. It's very clear on that, man. It's not a question, and we're there. We've reached that point. Fight. The Bible I read doesn't say nothing like that. The Bible I read says, I'm going to suffer and die. Yeah, I'm going to defend myself. Yeah, I'm going to stand up for myself. Yeah, I'm going to go to the meetings that I can go to and speak my mind. Yes, I'm going to speak my mind. Yes, I'm going to make YouTube videos that I don't want to make. But, the Christians need to start facing the end result of all of this is hardship, real hardship, starvation. We're going to have people that realize what's going on and help us and stuff like that. But man, if you're not making steps to grow a garden, be self-sufficient, have rabbits, have chickens, whatever. And Call for an Uprising makes a good point about that at times too, about, when they click over to the digital economy, how are you going to pay your land taxes? They're going to take your land too, unless you, I don't know, some people I guess are going to have some deal maybe paid in gold. I don't know how that'll shake out. God will know how that'll shake out. And that's what I'm talking about. Some things we're not supposed to know, man. His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. So let's stop getting stuck on these sticking points, man, and focus on Jesus. Because there's people that are being tricked into believing Sunday law. There's people that are being tricked into believing, if you believe in Sunday, the Sunday law, the Seventh-day Adventist, let's talk about that real quick. The Seventh-day Adventist Sunday law teaching is basically, from what I get of it, is that there's going to be a law that's going to get passed, and you're only going to be able to worship on Sunday, right? And of course, that's why the Seventh-day Adventists have a problem with it. Well, okay, that opens up it being okay. So microchips aren't the mark of the beast. The vaccine aren't the mark of the beast. Sunday law is the mark of the beast. You see the problem here? Because if you're wrong, then you've already messed up and did these other things. That's the problem. Pre-trib rapture teaching is the same problem. You're teaching that Jesus comes back first. Well, I disagree. Because I see the devil tricking a lot of people. That's what I see. I see the devil tricking a lot of people and stealing a lot of souls. And it's just getting worse. And I wonder, when does the time come where all the Christians realize that? You know what I mean? And we start coming together and networking and trying to help each other out. Because that's what we should be doing now, in my opinion. That's why I'm in touch with Mo Tbr. That's why I'm in touch, with Brian over at Grease Monkey Videos. That's why I'm in touch with, the people in the chat rooms, like the Media Bear chat room where I'm moderating. Some of the other ones I talk to or talk on sometimes, which is another thing I don't like doing. And I don't like hanging out in chat rooms. I got life to live. But we need this. We need to be doing this. And, like I said, when we're in chat rooms and we're arguing about these stupid points and stuff, that's not what we should be doing. And I really wish everybody would see that. I told the guy that was arguing with me on the flat earth issue, I'm like, dude, I've got ODD's phone number in my phone. Like, I can call him, because he was saying, oh, you haven't checked into it. You don't know nothing. I'm like, really? I was at the Solar Return Festival, bro. I've checked into it. I just have my opinion. And you know what that is? Jesus. Okay? Are we cool?